Tekken 8 is nearly upon us, launching on January 26 for Xbox Series X and S, PS5, and PC. Arriving almost 7 years after Tekken 7, it offers a slate of new features, fighters, and modes for longtime fans and new players. Check out 15 of the biggest differences between Tekken 8 and Tekken 7 here. Story Mode Scale. The Tekken series is known for its long-running story to the extent that it holds a Guinness World Record for the same. Tekken 7 isn't too shabby with its story mode length. How Long to Beat places it at about 3.5 hours on average if you focus on the main story, and about 10 hours when including the extras. Tekken 8 aims to offer more volume with its story to the extent that development producer and game director Kohei Ikeda was shocked at the sheer amount when speaking to Famitsu. While the main story focuses on the war between Jin Kazuma and Kazuya Mishima, Bandai Namco also confirmed separate character episodes, which offer more insight into each fighter's story. Those new to Tekken and understandably lost shouldn't worry, as Tekken 8 also includes story digests for each title. Engines. Tekken 7 is developed on Unreal Engine 4 and looks pretty good considering its age, but Tekken 8 blows it out of the water completely. Developed on Unreal Engine 5, it doesn't utilize any assets from Tekken 7. Even crazier is how effects like rain, dirt, and sweat are now dynamically depicted instead of being simple parameters. As series producer Katsuhiro Harada describes it, Tekken 7 had something that appeared similar, that when the characters fell down or during the battle, they would appear to be sweating or something. But that was just a parameter in the game and how it was displayed. It's actually the first time we're taking rain and outside effects and having the effect of rolling down the character models. And not just that, but when they fall on the ground, their clothing gets dirty as a result. So you can see the kind of results of the battle on the characters' models. Stage Destruction. Stage destruction is already a thing in Tekken 7, like causing the floor to collapse or breaking barriers to descend to the next level. While still very much a thing in Tekken 8, with stages also having different times of day, it can be more over the top, especially if your opponent triggers an explosive and is sent sky high. There's also more of a cinematic flair in some transitions, like Azucena's, adding much more to the presentation as characters react to the crumbling environment. Launch rosters. Tekken 7 launched with 36 characters, including Street Fighter's Akuma and 9 brand new fighters. By comparison, Tekken 8 launches with 32 characters, which includes newcomers like Azucena, Victor Chevalier, and Reina. Returning characters include the likes of Jin Kazuma, Brian Fury, Ling Xiaoyu, Steve Fox, Paul Phoenix, Nina Williams, Asuka Kazuma, and many more. Arcade Quest. Tekken 7 had Treasure Battles, a mode where you fought against CPU opponents for cosmetics. Tekken 8's Arcade Quest is more than just an additional mode, though it's a full-fledged story where you customize an avatar and embark on a journey through arcades to become the best. You have a crew to play with who also offer tips on improving, but you'll eventually encounter tougher opponents and rivals. New cosmetics and customization options are earned by playing through the mode and completing challenges. Along with mirroring the glory days of arcade competition, it provides extensive tutorials for new players to learn the game. The jury is still out on whether Tekken 8 has a regular arcade mode where you face a string of CPU opponents, so stay tuned. Super Ghost Battle. Challenging regular AI can be fun at first, but eventually grows tiresome, so why not battle against AI ghosts or pro players? Or those you meet online? Or against yourself? That's what Super Ghost Battle in Tekken 8 has to offer. As players partake in fights, their ghosts will pick up on their behavior. On top of allowing players to measure their skills against the best in the world, it's also great for analyzing your behavior and tendencies. Also, with ghosts constantly learning, you can be assured of different battles down the line, even against the same opponents. Heat System. Tekken 8's combat system is focused on aggression, illustrated best by the Heat System. After using a Heat Burst attack or Heat Engager, your character enters the Heat state. Lasting 10 seconds in each round, it grants access to Heat Smash, more on that shortly, and Heat Dash, where you can dash forward and follow up with combos. The amount of heat gauge available can also differ, with a Heat Burst only offering 70%, while a Heat Engager provides the full bar. Rage Drive is out, Heat Smash is in. While rage arts are still present and available when dropping below 25% health, the rage drive is gone, replaced with the new heat smash, which consumes all your heat energy for a powerful attack in the heat state. It's good for potentially turning the tides, but you may end up whiffing and wasting the heat gauge, which could have been used for a combo extension instead. Recoverable health and chip damage changes. To fit into the more aggressive style of play, recoverable health from Tekken Tag Tournament makes a return. However, it's only recovered on successful attacks, even if an opponent blocks. Chip damage comes into play as well. Some attacks still deal chip damage to blocking opponents, but now attacks in the heat state can dish out the same. Special style. While Tekken 7 sticks to the traditional layout, Tekken 8 adds an option to help new players. Like Street Fighter 6's modern controls, special style maps commands and combos to specific buttons, making them easier to execute. For example, instead of pressing commands for air combos, you only have to press Y on Xbox or triangle on PS5, which changes with different directional inputs. You can also switch between special and traditional styles by pressing the left bumper or L1 in fights. While you could think of it as similar to the easy combos and assists from Tekken 7, the developer team considers it a way for players to learn the game's mechanics while familiarizing themselves with a fighter's main moves. My Replay and tips changes. Another feature that can help new and experienced Tekken players is My Replay and Tips. Introduced in Tekken 7's second season, however, Tekken 8 lets you try real-time inputs in a 10-second window. Battle tuning director Jun Yasuda explains to VG 24/7, you just look at the replay and the computer tells you exactly what you're doing wrong, and then it allows you to practice on the spot. It's so much easier and low effort compared to anything in the past. Director Kohei Ikeda also felt that it offers a less intensive play cycle for those seeking to improve. Having advice and being able to practice your options on the spot? That's probably the most effective and optimal way to improve as a player. And so, we're hoping people will use this tool efficiently to get better in their real matches. Rollback netcode and crossplay. Tekken 7's netcode is one of its more controversial aspects over the years. Players asked for rollback netcode, and Harada finally clarified that it does have rollback, which was then disputed, and so on. Rollback netcode is coming to Tekken 8, and though we need to wait for the game's release to see how it holds up, there's also cross-platform multiplayer, allowing players across consoles and PC to compete against each other online. Tekken Ball returns. After an overwhelmingly long absence from the series, Tekken Ball finally returns in Tekken 8. Available in the new Fight Lounge where players can compete online, it features the same classic gameplay with two fighters striking a beach ball back and forth to damage each other. There are even new ball designs from a shiny gray sheen to a globe. PC requirements. The astronomical bump in visual quality means Tekken 8 has more demanding PC requirements than Tekken 7. But how much more? You need 100 GB for the former, compared to 60 GB for the latter. Tekken 7 also requires an Intel Core i3-4160 3.60 GHz or equivalent CPU, 6 GB of RAM, and an NVIDIA GeForce GTX 660 2 GB, GTX 750 Ti 2 GB, or similar GPU at the very minimum. Its recommended requirements include a Core i5-4690, 3.5 GHz, 8 GB RAM, and GeForce GTX 1060 or higher. Meanwhile, Tekken 8's minimum requirements include a Core i5-6600K or AMD Ryzen 5 1600, 8 GB of RAM, and a GTX 1050 Ti or Radeon R9 380X. The recommended requirements include a Core i7-7700K or Ryzen 5 2600, 16 GB of RAM, and RTX 2070 or Radeon RX 5700 XT. Not too shabby and still very much accessible for those still rocking the GTX 1060. Fight Lounge. Another new addition to the series is the Fight Lounge, where your custom avatar ventures into a 3D arcade to partake in quick matches, ranked play, and more with other players. You can interact with them, check their profiles, spectate fights, visit the customization shop, or chill out on the beach. Match Anywhere allows for setting connection quality, skill range, crossplay, and whatnot while you explore or practice. Like Arcade Quest and Street Fighter 6's Battle Hub, it mimics the feel of being in an actual arcade. Hey, did you know that we at GamingBolt upload new videos every day? Stick around, drop a like, subscribe, and hit that bell, and let us know what kind of content you'd like to see in the future with a comment below.